My name is Ninoska, but my friends call me Nina. Ninoska is so formal, and formal is not my style. My story starts in Washington Heights, where I grew up with my mom, my younger sister, and my younger brother. My dad was in the area, but my mom didn't get along with him. She didn't want him to see us. So she pushed my sister and me to say bad things about him in court, things that weren't true. He lost the case, and I didn't see him for almost 20 years. That's the way things work with my mom. She usually put her needs first, and that meant stuff that she didn't want to do fell on me. Stuff like grocery shopping, cooking, and laundry. But nothing I did was ever good enough for her. She was always yelling at me, trying to make me feel worthless. When I got to middle school, she started to beat me. My brother and sister had it better. She was nice to them, sometimes. But I reminded her of my dad. So I was like the ugly duckling, the one she always picked on. I liked school, and my grades were okay, but my attendance was bad. My sister had seizures, and I had really bad asthma. I missed so many days. The principal of my high school told me I should drop out. Things only got harder when I stopped going to school. My mom never had a proper job, so we were always really poor. So poor, we sometimes ate ketchup and rice for dinner. But the things Mom did to earn money were even worse than being hungry. She invited nasty men to our apartment. She sold them drugs, and she sold them liquor, and she sold them herself. I wish I could tell you that was the worst part, but it's not. Because my mom also forced me to sell myself. I said I didn't want to, but she promised it wouldn't be that bad, and that was the worst lie she ever told me. I started cutting myself. A few times I tried to overdose on pills. But when the pills were off and I finally woke up, Mom would just scream at me for falling behind on my chores. When I pushed back against her, when I tried to get an explanation for why she treated me so bad, she said I was ungrateful. As long as I lived in her home, I didn't have the right to complain. But that apartment wasn't a home, at least not for me. A home is somewhere you feel safe and loved and supported. Looking back, I should have left that apartment years ago. But Mom said she would kill me if I ever tried to escape. And I didn't know where to go. Then when I was 21, I came home late one night, and she gave me the worst beating of my life. Something inside of me finally snapped. That was it for me. The next day, I woke up at 5 a.m. and packed as much stuff as I could into a few shopping bags, and I snuck out the door. I did not know where I would sleep that night, but I knew it wouldn't be in that apartment. I ended up at a drop-in center in Harlem. They found a bed for me, and I was officially on my own. I was also officially homeless. I didn't waste any time trying to change that. A few days after I left my mom, a friend took me downtown to the door. And that's when I started building a new life. The door was exactly what I needed, one place where I could find almost everything I was looking for. When I needed something to eat, the door opened up its pantries. When I needed something to wear, the door opened up its closet. When I needed an internship, the door opened up its network and helped me get a job. And when I decided to finish high school, the door opened up its classrooms and helped me prepare for the GED. I still remember when I found out I passed the test. I was at the door when the call came through, because that's where I spend most of my free time. As soon as I heard the words, "You pass," I started crying. At first, people thought someone had died, but then I told them, I got my GED. Thank you. After that, it turned into a party. We were all hugging and screaming and dancing, because that's how things are at the door, like a family. When one of us wins, we all celebrate. But I still haven't found that one thing I wanted most of all, a place to call home. And then it happened. A friend from the door told me about breaking ground. They were about to open the Lee, a brand new building on the Lower East Side. I put in my application immediately, and a few months later, I got the news. I've been accepted. I would never, ever forget the sound of my keys unlocking that apartment for the very first time. Click. It was like all the pain and baggage I've been carrying around for years just fell off. My favorite thing about the apartment was the window, where I could look down on a little park. I loved to lay on my bed and listen to the music my neighbors play while they practice Tai Chi. But I wasn't just lying around, zoning out, not even close. With help from the door, I enrolled at Guzman Community College, where I got a great education. But honestly, I don't think I would have made it without all the support I got from the people at Breaking Ground. We had a room with computers where I could study and work on my papers. There were regular group dinners, so I didn't have to go back to rice and ketchup. And Breaking Ground organized karaoke nights, so I always had a healthy way to cut loose. My go-to song was Butterflies by Alicia Keys. And trust me, I rock it every time. All my hard work paid off on June 23rd, 2016, when I graduated from Guzman. And I didn't just graduate. I graduated with honors and a $10,000 scholarship. But as proud as I felt walking across the stage to get my degree, I never forgot all the people who helped me get there. And you know why? Because a lot of them were out in the crowd, yelling like maniacs when my name was called. I'm talking about Joy at the door, who helped me with test prep, and Cole, my college advisor, and Oma, who started out as my intern supervisor and is now my mentor for life. Knowing all those people were out in the crowd meant everything to me. Because like I said, the people at the door and breaking ground are like family. And it means everything right now to know that Joy and Carl and Oma and a bunch of other people from the door and breaking ground are sitting right over there. They have always spoken up for me, and I'm so grateful for this chance to speak up for them. These days, I'm a full-time program associate at Bridge Street Development Corporation, where I work with senior citizens. I'm also pursuing my bachelor's degree, and I'm living by myself in a fabulous apartment out in Brooklyn. But as much as I love my apartment, my dream is to start a family and have a house of my own. It doesn't need to be big or formal, because you know how I feel about formal. It just needs to be a place where I feel safe, loved, and supported. Like the way I felt at the door. Like the way I felt at my breaking ground apartment. And honestly, like the way I feel right now. Because without all of you, without Robin Hood, I would not have made it this far. I still have a lot more work to do before I realize my dream. But now I know I can overcome anything. And no one, and I mean no one, will ever take that away from me. Thank you.